On the idea of coming back to marketing, with a good break on fatherhood, what do you think in terms of the broad spectrum of professional organizations, the tools they have to market themselves and then present themselves? What are the better tools among the options they have in terms of social media? And then if you have to rank the social media platforms from a point of view of an organization, a B2B, and then if you rank them, which platform do you go first, and then second, and then third?
Yeah. Look, I think the biggest thing at the moment that organizations need to be thinking of is AI. Goldman Sachs said that in the next 5 years, 300 million jobs will be lost to AI. I think that's a very conservative number. The direction that it's heading, it's going to be replacing a lot of jobs. So I think, getting up to speed on AI, which just means getting familiar with using some of the tools that are out there, like ChatGPT, getting familiar with how to talk to AI and communicate with it, it's going to be very important. Because if you ignore it, you're going to probably be replaced. There's a lot of jobs that are going to be replaced. I mean, there's not much that AI can't do apart from interpersonal relationships these days. And so the direction it's heading, I think it's the most important thing for business people to be aware of. So I would be really focusing on AI tools and implementing, integrating that with what you're doing. Obviously, ChatGPT is a big one. I mean, in marketing, we use Opus Clip for editing videos. That's really good. There's a bunch of LinkedIn specific ones which are great. Magic Post is one I use. I got CRMs that have AI involved in them and stuff like that. And then I guess on the other side is just looking at analytics and just analyzing what's working and what's not, because it's always changing. But those are the things I'd be thinking about.
Okay. And the concluding question for me is, how do you crack the code with LinkedIn? How do you crack the algorithm? How do you get onto it and be good?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot to think about. Your profile's obviously the foundation, right? That's the conversion point. If your profile's not doing its job of explaining what you do in customer-centric language and with social proof on it, then anything you do on LinkedIn is not going to work. So that's the first thing. And that's where you talk about yourself and like what your benefits are and how people can contact you and explain a bit about your services. Don't do it in your content. Don't do it in the private messages, right? But grow your network. Have a really targeted network. It's very important. Most people make the mistake of just being reactive and accepting connection requests from whoever sends them invites, which means that their network is mainly people trying to sell them stuff and recruiters. Be proactive. If you want to target guys in financial services, invite them to join your network. So have a great profile, good quality network, and then start sharing relevant content, and you'll soon find out what content works and what doesn't. But you've got to just be active. That's the only way you're going to find out what works is to start posting content regularly, be active, and use LinkedIn's private messaging to take conversations offline. If you do all of those things, you'll get some value out of LinkedIn, and you'll soon find out where the opportunities are.
Lovely. Thank you.
My pleasure.